Alright, Firebull02. This will be the second video. This is checking out the Shopsmith Mark V. Got the cover off now, just a few screws, and the plate slides out of the way. I removed the two couplers that go on these two shafts for connection to the accessories. They just need a cleaning up. Just go on with a hex head or a hex bolt screw. One of the other things I forgot to mention with the first video is another one of the functions of this machine is a lathe. I don't have the tailstock that would go into that end that will hold the live center. I'm looking for one of those now. Found a few. It's just a matter of getting one at the right price. Down here you can see one of the sheaves I was talking about. You can see the belt is to the outside edge. If it was on the slow speed, those sheaves would be moved apart and they would be more to the inside edge. And there's another set of sheaves just above it. Those ones are opened up, so it's the smaller diameter there right now. So I'm going to try to pop off the belt. So I'm going to pop the belts off. Like I said, I know this has been sitting for probably 10 years, so this is definitely going to get new belts all the way around. In here you can kind of see the other set of sheaves. You can see the one side that slides, and if I turn this, you can see the one inside is moving. This one here is a 1-to-1 drive down to this shaft, this intermediate, or I forget exactly what their term was for this particular shaft, but I'm going to replace these anyway. This says Magna on it, is the company that originally made these for Shopsmith before Shopsmith started producing them themselves. I'd be shocked if this was the original, but then again it has the company name on it, so hard to tell. Anybody that ever gets a hold of one of these, you never turn this without the motor running. That's why I did it earlier, even though it had the blade on it, to turn up the speed, because you'll bind up these sheaves, and those are actually actuated by a small lever. They call it a pork chop, or some people will call it a dog leg lever inside here, and we'll see that later on. The motor is actually housed down in the bottom here, like I mentioned before. Sits back in there. I'm going to be pulling this whole thing off and going through all of it, checking all the bearings and everything, so we'll get a better view of that later. Next step is probably going to be this coming off of the headstock. So get that out of the way. So to do that, I'm going to take this table off. This lever releases this portion, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip that table back into the carriage on the other end, and I'll put a piece of wood across the two lower bars and lower the table. I'll lower the table onto that bar and then lock it in place, so that actually that table will lift this end. That way I don't have to do it by hand and try to fight the weight of the headstock, and try not to be slamming things around. So Just going to lock that one. Let's see if I have a board handy. A piece of 2x4. So I just put it on top of the two bottom tubes. I believe the two bottom tubes are called the Y tubes. Unlock this again. Because my wood is blocking the turning there. I'm going to go ahead and back this back up. I'll move the board in here. There I go, I was trying to make things harder than they needed to be for a minute. Alright. Slip the lock panel back, the lock handle back on. And you notice as I turn it up, it lifts the whole upper portion. I'll just kind of give it a little hand there. Alright. Lock that in position. So now you see the headstock is elevated up. All the weight of the headstock and everything's just resting on that piece of 2x4. So I'm going to pull the end caps off, and I'll come back with the next video of I'll get this excuse me, I'll get this onto another table to be torn down a little further and try it, and I want to try to evaluate all my internal parts so I can get those on the way. A lot of this other stuff I can clean up the paint and everything and get it ready to be painted in the tubes. This little shelf on the bottom, I'm probably going to sand that down and just restain it. That was built by my grandfather to hold all the accessories. That little plate there is a 12-inch sander plate. It goes up on the headstock at the same place the circular saw blade did, and you can use the table surface. A couple turning chisels. For some reason, Dad didn't have all the lathe parts, so I need to find a tailstock, and I need to find a tool rest, as well as the live center and the plate that would go on the end, and I'll probably get a chuck to go on the end as well. But I think that'll be it for this video. This is going to be pretty heavy and probably not going to be too pretty me trying to move it. So part 3 will be coming soon. Thank you.